Campaigners in the US have been informed officially that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Department, or ICE as it's called, has targeted as many as 4,700 students for deportation one way or another. And a follow-up survey conducted by the American Immigration Lawyers Association, that was among more than 300 of its lawyers, showed that half their clients were Indians looking to fight this kind of deportation move. If the sample suggests a similar percentage among the 4,700, we could be speaking of a very large number of Indian students here affected, among the others.
We received data from the government that over 4,700 students, their student records were terminated by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And that is a significant number. And so we wanted to sort of better understand who is being impacted by these revocations and terminations, and, for what reason.
An Indian student from Georgetown University right here was picked up for deportation and charged with pro-Hamas campaigning in a high-profile case. But very clearly, we've not had a couple of thousand or so Indian students engaged in pro-Hamas demonstrations across the US. So what is it that's putting them on the deportation map?
So we are very familiar with some of the more publicized cases of individuals who have been had their visas revoked and picked up by ICE because of their freedom of speech activities, that they were engaging in speech that the government didn't agree with. But in our examples that we received, the overwhelming majority were a result of some sort of law enforcement encounter.
Just what kind of brush with law precisely could all these students have had?
Many of the so-called crimes that they were charged with or were picked up for are things that everyday Americans wouldn't even think twice as a crime, and certainly not college students. And so, we have examples of people who were speeding and exceeded the speed limit by 5 to 10 miles per hour. We have examples of individuals who had a parking ticket, for example, without doing any further analysis of why they were in the database. The government just took a broad brush and revoked their status or terminated their records.
Terminating records is quite an unprecedented new measure that ICE has been using heavily since January the 20th.
Because once that CVIS record is terminated, then there becomes a lot of questions about the individual's legal status in the United States, whether or not it's not clear whether they're allowed to remain here. It's not clear whether they can continue to go to class. And that's where the courts that's what's being challenged in the courts.
Without these records, students could not hope to take their studies further or to seek work. The students now had no recourse but to go to the courts.
There are a number of court cases pending all across the country right now, and where we've seen quite a bit of success trying to file and challenge these terminations.
Not all the cases have succeeded. Many are ongoing, and it's all at a cost of time, of course, and a good deal of money for the lawyers. The students do face really difficult choices.